as I mentioned in the earlier slide, the plan that Alexander Hamilton is coming up with is going to meet opposition. For example, where in the Constitution does it say that the federal government can create a bank? It doesn't. There's no mentioning of it. So there are going to be people that are going to notice that, and they're going to say, "Wait a minute, let's hold off a little bit." The southern states, except for South Carolina, had already paid back a substantial portion of their debts. And under Hamilton's plan, the northern states would be benefiting disproportionately. So the Southerners, they want to compromise. They agreed to Hamilton that that they would accept the funding of the debt in its original form. It's impossible to distinguish who are the original debt holders and who are the speculators by this time. Hamilton agreed, however, when it came to this bill, he would agree to line up northern votes in order to create a new national capital in the South, particularly along the Potomac River, the future Washington, D.C. In exchange, the South would agree to Hamilton's funding the plan. But nonetheless, we start to see some opposition along sectional lines, north and south, and we also start to see a difference in the way Northerners are going to interpret the Constitution and Southerners are going to interpret the Constitution. Let me explain what I mean. There are people there that are going to be called strict constructionists. Today we would probably call them conservatives, but a lot more hardline than today's conservatives. These would include James Madison and Thomas Jefferson. And basically what they're going to say is that if it's not in the Constitution, that right doesn't exist. They're going to believe that all powers not given to the federal government need to be given to the states and under the auspices of the 10th Amendment, which, as we said in an earlier video, grants any power not expressly given to the federal government to the state governments. So that's why our driver's licenses and our marriage licenses are issued at the state level, not the federal level. So they're, strict constructionists are going to point towards the 10th Amendment as their constitutional inspiration. Broad constructionists or the Federalists are going to point to what's called the Necessary and Proper Clause. It's Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18. Here's what it says. Congress shall have the power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers, and all other powers vested by the Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof.